Most people know the story of Cain, the world's first murderer, at least according to the Bible. Cain, driven by jealousy and anger, killed his younger brother Abel. He lured Abel into the fields and struck him dead. After this tragic event, the Bible tells us that only 3 people were left on earth: Cain, his father Adam, and his mother Eve. With Abel gone, there was no mystery about who the killer was. God, who is very active in these early stories, already knew Cain was guilty. He punished Cain by making him a restless wanderer on earth for the rest of his life. The idea of someone wandering the earth forever is fascinating, especially for someone like Cain, who committed the first murder. But this punishment has sparked many debates. Did Cain become immortal? Was he still alive during later events in the Bible? Could he even be wandering the earth today? In this story, we'll explore these questions and look at some of the more unusual and controversial ideas about Cain's fate. First, let's look at what the Bible says about Cain's punishment. After God discovers Abel's body, he confronts Cain. God says, "Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." Cain is devastated by this punishment. He complains that it's too much for him to bear. He also worries that someone might find him and kill him. To prevent this, God puts a mark on Cain. God says, "Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." This mark protects Cain from being killed by others. However, the Bible doesn't tell us much more about Cain after this. He disappears into obscurity, leaving us to wonder what happened to him. We do know a few things, though. After being cursed, Cain goes to the land of Nod, which is east of Eden. There, he finds a wife and has a son named Enoch. Cain even builds a city and names it after his son. Scholars believe that after starting a family and building a city, Cain likely settled down. While the mark protected him from being killed, it didn't make him immortal. He could still die from old age, sickness, or accidents. Some believe that Cain eventually repented for his sin. Over time, he may have changed and sought forgiveness from God. If this happened, God might have removed the mark, allowing Cain to live a normal life and die a natural death. Others think Cain's death came from an accident or natural disaster. The Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish text, suggests that Cain died when his house collapsed on him. This would be a kind of poetic justice since Cain killed Abel with a rock, and a rock, or stone, caused his own death. Another argument against Cain still being alive today is the Great Flood. In Genesis chapter 6, God sends a flood to wipe out all life on earth because of humanity's wickedness. Only Noah, his family, and the animals on the ark survive. If Cain were still alive at that time, he would have been killed in the flood. Since the Bible doesn't mention Cain being saved, it's reasonable to assume he died before the flood or during it. However, some people believe Cain is still alive today. They argue that the Bible never explicitly says Cain died. The mark God placed on him protected him from being killed, but it didn't make him invulnerable to everything else. Still, some think the mark might have given Cain a form of immortality, allowing him to survive through the ages. If Cain is still alive, where could he be? Some theories are quite creative. One idea is that Cain became a homeless drifter, cursed to wander the earth forever. According to this theory, Cain's curse prevents him from finding stability or success. He can't grow crops or earn a living, so he lives a life of hardship and poverty. In modern times, he might be a homeless person, constantly moving from place to place, unable to settle down. Another theory is the opposite. Cain is not a drifter, but a powerful, secret ruler of the world. If Cain has been alive for thousands of years, he would have had plenty of time to learn and master many skills. He could have studied human psychology, warfare, strategy, and even ancient magic. With all this knowledge and experience, it's possible Cain rose to power and became a hidden leader, controlling world events from behind the scenes. There's also a more unusual theory that Cain is the legendary creature known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. According to this idea, Cain lives in isolation, hiding in the wilderness away from humanity. This theory suggests that Cain's curse forced him to live apart from society, becoming a mysterious figure who occasionally appears but remains elusive. The Book of Jasher, a 17th-century Hebrew text, offers a different version of Cain's death. In this story, a man named Lamech, who is blind, goes hunting with his son Tubal-Cain. During the hunt, Tubal-Cain sees a figure in the distance and tells his father to shoot. Lamech, unable to see, fires an arrow and accidentally kills Cain. This story suggests that Cain's mark didn't make him invulnerable to death, but serve as a warning to others. Anyone who killed Cain would face severe consequences, so most people would avoid harming him. The Book of Jubilees also provides an account of Cain's death. It says that Cain died when his house collapsed on him. This version emphasizes divine justice. Just as Cain killed Abel with a stone, or the collapse of his house, caused his own death. This idea of poetic justice is a common theme in many religious texts. So what do we make of all these theories? The Bible doesn't give us a clear answer about Cain's fate. It tells us about his punishment and his journey to the land of Nod, but it doesn't say how or when he died. This lack of information has led to many interpretations and debates. Some believe Cain died long ago, either from old age, an accident, or the Great Flood. Others think he might still be alive, wandering the earth as a drifter, a secret ruler, or even a mythical creature. The idea of Cain's eternal wandering raises deeper questions about sin, punishment, and divine justice. If Cain is still alive, what does that mean for his punishment? Has he found redemption, or is he still suffering for his crime? If he died long ago, what lessons can we learn from his story? These questions continue to fascinate scholars, theologians, and readers of the Bible. In the end, the story of Cain is more than just a tale of the first murder. It's a story about human nature, the consequences of our actions, and the possibility of redemption. Whether Cain is still wandering the earth or met his end long ago, his story reminds us of the power of choices and the importance of seeking forgiveness. What do you think? Do you believe Cain's story ended in Genesis? Or is it possible he's still out there somewhere? Let me know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this exploration of Cain's fate, don't forget to give this story a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time.